And hello YouTube, this is Thomas Judge back once again with another episode of Valiant to the Last, my read through of all the Valiant Deluxe Edition hardcovers. Um, for this particular episode, like with last week's episode, I'm not actually going to be showing you a hardcover because what I did was I carried on reading through the Harbinger line of comics, which means I'm in a little period where there's actually nothing collected as deluxe edition hardcovers. So unfortunately, this is just going to be just a quick video of me just telling you about the single issues and the trades that I read, but I can't show you a deluxe edition, or rather, I can't show you one yet. So the important thing is what I read today was Generation Zero, which is a 9-issue maxi series that came out actually just after the Faith series started. And by that, I mean the Faith series that was actually collected in the deluxe edition, which was the last deluxe edition we saw a couple of weeks ago. Um, I think a couple of issues into that, Generation Zero started coming out and being produced. First thing I'll point out is Generation Zero as a series has nothing to do with Faith. She's not in it at all. It doesn't overlap in any way. In fact, it's totally standalone. The only thing you need to know going into it is that Psyots exist, which you should know by this point because I've been reading like Harbinger comics and there's Psyots in those. And the only other thing just to note, and this is a real passing reference, is that the events of Armor Hunters happened. Now, I don't know what Armor Hunters is because I haven't read it yet, as you would know as you've been following along these videos. But in Armor Hunters, there's some kind of like big battle in Mexico, and the first few pages of Generation Zero kind of reference that in passing, but it's ultimately utterly unimportant and not necessary to understand this story. This story works out great just as long as you know Generation Zero exists. Knowing a bit more about them, having read about them in Harbinger Awards and stuff like that, makes it a little bit better. But I will just say this flat out: I don't often swear, but I am going to swear. So swearing warning. This series was fucking great. It was absolutely brilliant. First issue finished, and I was like, yep, this is going to be great. And it was start to finish very strong, very enjoyable. Everything about it, from the tone to the art to the writing. The writing is by Fred Van Lente. Fred Van Lente, I think, something like that. And he's a writer here. I think this is the first thing that he's written that I've ever read, although I've got quite a few of his comics to read. And I've got to say, it was just great. I love the way that the story initially was pitched as a bit of a homage to the 1980s A-Team series, where you contact Generation Zero if you have nowhere else to turn, if you need to find justice, all this sort of stuff. It was kind of cool. But the story itself was just great. So the first 5 issues, which we can see here, are collected in a trade paperback called We Are the Future, and that's issues 1 to 5, and then subsequently issues 6 to 9, which are slightly different branding in terms of how the covers look. They're collected in a second trade paperback called Heroescape, which is a second one that follows straight on from the first. It's one long continuous story arc of 9 issues. And yeah, this was fucking great. This was really good. Loved it. Total standalone compared to all the other Harbinger stuff, even more so than the Faith series was. So if you've been following the videos so far, we've talked about Harbinger, Bloodshot, Harbinger Wars, Imperium, all that sort of stuff, which has all formed one long continuous story. Generation Zero spins out quite early on, I think pretty much at the Harbinger War stage, and it's just its own self-contained thing, the same way Faith has been its own self-contained thing. So yeah, it's great. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but yeah, this is just, yeah, really good. I wasn't expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be some kind of like spin-off garbage that got cancelled at issue 9. And I assumed that because it's not collecting a deluxe edition hardcover. Why? Why Valiant? Why is this not collected in a deluxe hardcover? So as a result, I think what I'm going to do is at some point, I think I'm going to have to slice this up, scan it, and make my own deluxe edition hardcover. Um, I'm a little bit wary about doing this actually. I said I was going to do it last week when I was looking at the second video I did about Faith and all the issues there I could put into a volume, and I think that would be kind of cool. But the thing is to do it so it matches. Like these deluxe editions are very polished and they've got a very specific style, and it would take a lot of design time and effort and so on. But hey, I can do that. And that's what I'm going to do with this. I would do this with Generation Zero. I think it's great. I think if you're a Valiant fan and you're only reading deluxe editions, you are missing out by not reading Generation Zero. It's definitely something that you will enjoy if you've been enjoying the previous stuff. And it is just, yeah, out and out. It's fucking good. Fucking good. Fucking recommended. All right, at the end of that, all I'm going to say is, yeah, thanks for watching. And next time round, I am going to be reading Harbinger Renegade, which I think is another 9 or 10 issue series, I think, which similarly is set around about the same time. Similarly, isn't collected, so I'm just going to be reading it actually in the combination of single issues and trade paperbacks. It came out, I think, just a couple of issues into Generation Zero coming out, so that's the next thing I'll be reading, and I will catch you on that for our next video. Thanks for watching. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. As always, please follow me on Twitter at I am Thomas Judge, where I will post a daily review of whatever comics I've been reading. You can get an idea of what I'm up to on the channel. And as always, please support the channel by heading over to Amazon.com and checking out my prose novel about superheroes. It's a completely original piece of work. The first episode in it is called Arrivals, and the series as a whole is called No Gods or Kings. You can find an excerpt of that on my website, nogodsorkings.com. Until next time, everybody, stay classy.